Hello everyone, this is Sanvi Hipparki. In this session, we are going to discuss runtime polymorphism. Polymorphism means one thing can behave differently in different situations. There are two types of polymorphism: compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. So under compile time, there are two types: function overloading and operator overloading, which we have already discussed. So function overloading means multiple functions can have same name, but there must be difference in number of parameters. If the number of parameters are same, then there must be at least difference in their data types. So here, this type of polymorphism will be resolved at compile time. So which function must be called depends on the number of parameters and their data type. So this is resolved during compile time. Operator overloading. So if operator is performed on basic types, compiler can directly perform the operation. But if it is done on the objects of user defined data type, we have to provide a new meaning, which is done using operator overloading. So if we do not define a new meaning for the operator, then compiler gives us error. So these two types of polymorphism are resolved at compile time. Now let us see what is runtime polymorphism. We are going to discuss virtual function under this section. So for example, if we have a base class, we can derive its properties into multiple derived classes. For example, class base. In this, we have a function show, which will display that we are in base class. We are going to inherit the properties of base into multiple derived classes. So first class is derived 1, in which we are inheriting the properties of base class publicly. So here we are overriding the show function, which is defined in the base class. So here we are redefining the show function, we are changing its implementation, we are displaying that we are in derived 1 class. When we inherit the properties of base into derived 2, again we are overriding the show function, we are changing the definition of the show function in this derived class. We display that we are in derived 2 class. Now the function show in base class derived 1 as well as derived 2 have different implementations. In main function, we can make use of a pointer of the base class to point to the objects of the base class as well as objects of derived classes. So bptr is a pointer variable which can hold address of objects of base as well as the objects derived from base. b1 is an object of base class, d1 is an object of derived 1 class, d2 is an object of derived 2 class. First we are going to store the object of address of the object b1 into the bptr. If we call show function using bptr, show function from the base class must be called. Then we store the address of object d1 into bptr. Now if we call show function using bptr, show function from derived class 1 must be displayed. If we store address of d2 in bptr and we call show function, then the show function from derived 2 class must be displayed. It must be called. Let's see the output. The output displayed is that we are in base class all the time when we call show function. See, this happens because in this example the compiler concentrates on data type of the pointer but not on its contents. The data type of the pointer is base. Even if we store the address of objects in this pointer, the compiler will not concentrate on the contents of the function. Instead, the compiler will concentrate on data type of the function. Even though we are storing the address of the derived objects of the derived classes, compiler is calling the show function from base class only. So at runtime we have to resolve this. The compiler has to call the functions from different classes but not just the show function from the base class. To resolve this, we have virtual functions. So pointers to objects of the base class are type compatible with pointers to objects of the derived class. So this means that single pointer variable of the base class can be made to point to the objects of base class as well as derived classes, different classes. B is the base class. BPTR is the pointer of the base class. B is an object of base class. D is an object of derived class. We can store address of base class object in PTR. We can also store address of object of derived class in PTR. Even though we are storing address of derived class object, using this PTR we can access only those members inherited from B and not the members that originally belonged to D. In case a member of D has the same name as one of the members in B, PTR will always access the base class member. So derived class overrides show function from base class. Even though we store address of object of the derived class in the PTR, PTR will call show function from base class only but not from the derived class. If we want to resolve this polymorphism, we have to make use of a virtual function. Function in the base class is made virtual when we are going to inherit this properties of base class into derived class. We are going to override show function with a new definition. We are going to override this virtual show function in derived 2 with a new definition. The program is same, just the change is we are using virtual keyword in the base class before show function. Now BPTR is a pointer of base, B1 is an object of base, D1 is an object of derived 1, D2 is an object of derived 2. First we store the address of base class object into BPTR. If we call show function, we are in base class will be displayed. Show function will be called from base class. Then if we store the address of D1 into BPTR and we call show, we are in derived 1 class will be displayed. Now the compiler concentrates on the contents of the pointer but not on its type. BPTR, if it stores the address of D2, then it calls the show function from D2. So this is the use of virtual function.